Hello. Welcome to prayer time this evening. How's everybody doing? Just wanted to start off today by just kind of getting into what how today is going. Apparently, I have a little issue going on with my banner in the background. We're going to try to fix it real quick here. But while we're getting that all set up here, I do want to tell you this is prayer time. This is something that we do. We do it twice a day. Let me see if we can get this to work here. Apparently, it's not wanting to cooperate, so we're going to go with it. Anyway, prayer time is something that we do twice a day, 8:15 in the morning, 8:15 in the evening. My name is Joe Witherow. I am a practitioner of CSL teaching. I'm affiliated with the Colorado Springs CSL Church, Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm originally from Mile High in Lakewood, Colorado. But what we do here is we do hold affirmative prayer twice a day. And, what that's really about is just kind of giving ourselves some time to go within, do some self reflection, and be able to kind of, I don't know, just slow down in the day. So I do want to kind of I wanted to pick an interesting topic for today. And I didn't have anything that was really on my heart space, but I was thinking as I was going through my Living the Science of Mind book here. I was getting ready because I'm going to be TAing a class next month, and I really kind of wanted to think about, what is it that I want to appear in, appear as a teacher, and I really thought about the idea of the ego and where it comes in when it comes to teaching. And I think there's a lot of power. Let me go ahead. Aha, finally got it. I think there's a lot of power in the idea of leaving your ego out of the equation. When we talk about ego, I heard a good friend of mine who said it was easing God out. And I think there's a lot of truth behind that idea, is when we are connecting with our mind and allowing the world of form. You'll hear me say that word a lot when I pray. When we're allowing the world of form to take center space here, we're easing God out. We're not allowing God to be in that space. We're not allowing God to be part of what we're doing. And there's such a calling for us to when we go into prayer, for us just to slow down, and instead of easing God out, we're easing God in. We're doing the opposite. We're letting God in. We're entering, God's office. Oh, there we go. There's a good one for today. Entering God's office. That's the opposite of when we're one with ego. All right. So, what I really wanted to kind of do, I'm just playing around with the backgrounds here. I don't know why I'm playing with them, but is I kind of wanted to read this reading. And this is from Living the Science of Mind. And if you ever, really kind of want a good way to understand Ernest Holmes, but in a different manner, in a way that's a little bit more reader friendly, this is my book I would suggest as a practitioner. But we're going to read a section that's called The Ego. Our idea of the ego is different from the average concept held by psychologists, particularly the materialistic one, which holds that the ego is a reservoir of instinctive impulses dominated by the pleasure principle. As it comes in contact with the external world through the senses, it becomes imbued with consciousness. They believe the ego is not a spiritual reality, but is something acquired. They are partially right. It is in which the ego, which is chose as a result of our experience. This is why the ego is ideal. An ego ideal is a standard of perfection formed in childhood through self-identification with persons who are admired. They have another theory of an alter ego, which is developed out of a need for self-expression, derived from the whole human race. without denying or seeking to minimize the psychological concept of the ego. We have something to add to it. We believe that there's a real spiritual ego at the back of the psychological one. The psychological ego acquired in living is a projection of the real ego and what we experience in life. There is an ego or an I myself, which was not created by experience, but only expressed through it. There is a real and dynamic spiritual ego. If there were not, the psychological ego could not have functioned. The real ego, the Bible calls the Christ in us, the hope of glory. At the center of every man's life, the impersonal becomes personal. The generic becomes individualized. The universe or God is incarnated in each individual in an entirely different and unique manner. This is the hidden source of life, the place where Christ in us blends on one side with the divine and on one side with the individual. So, what is it that we really kind of take out of that particular reading? Well, there's a dynamic um, aspect that goes into our idea of a creative mind. So in science of mind teaching, we'll talk about an affirmative prayer. We talk about a unification step. So it's our mind connected with the mind of God. We know that how I always say it whenever I'm in prayer is our mind, our thoughts, our hopes, our feelings are part of this greater creative medium that's there, and that we have the ability to tap into this divine nature at any time. We have ability to push ourselves into that universal mind, and we have a chance to further connect with spirit. And that's what we do through spiritual practice, meditation. We do it through walking in nature. We do it through breathing exercises. There's so many different things. um, uh, a good example of it that nobody thinks about, we do it by walking in a labyrinth. Walking in a labyrinth is a great spiritual practice because it allows us just to focus on just walking ahead, focus on just taking a moment and just seeing the path in front of us and allowing ourselves to be. So there's a lot of power in that. Anyway, I digress. But today's topic, I just kind of wanted to speak on the ego because I think it's really important for us to realize as spiritual beings the power when our ego, is there, and our ego is present, when our ego is strongly influencing our space. There's a chance, there's a need for us to go within. There's a need for us to go into spiritual practice. So we're going to go ahead and start that spiritual practice this evening by go ahead and going into prayer. So I invite you, wherever you're at, just to kind of take a stretch, take a deep breath. And see what I know this beautiful fall evening. As I look out and I see Pikes Peak, I see beautiful mountains that are just blessed with this topping of snow that's ahead of them. I see snow on the roads, snow on in the vision, in the distance. I step outside and I just feel the cool winter breeze, and I just see so many just examples of God in practice that exist today. So many instances of this energy known as spirit, whether it comes from people laughing, from seeing good friends, from being able to be with the one that you love. It's just so many examples of this manifestation of God that exist in each moment. And I know that as I shut down my ego and allow myself to connect, to uplift my consciousness, I just know that my mind is one with this creative media. My mind is one unified with spirit, as I know this truth for all on this spiritual journey. Whether worshiping in a sweat lodge, a cathedral, inside a living room, or inside a laundry room, does not matter. There's just that energy, that intention of prayer, of spiritual practice. And in this practice, I see just the joy that exists in that journey. For as we connect to spirit, as we move forward, we connect closer to this divine energy. We connect closer to God. For the reality is that all these paths on this journey lead to God. There's not any place that can be taken where it's not there, where God is not. And I speak my word this evening just for this divine peace that's flowing through, this consciousness and awareness, this spiritual upliftment. And I speak my word just being able to be a part of this uplifting of consciousness, this uplifting of energy that moves forward and flows with divine beauty and grace. I just know as I say these words of prayer this evening, I just know that all that are in the healthcare field, that are first responders, that are service workers, or people who just are in that general occupation of saying yes, I just know at this time that they are blessed with this divine intelligence that just surrounds their soul, their essence, that they are one connected, that decisions flow with just ease and grace. And I just speak my word knowing this collective divine perfection that exists. And it's this divine perfection that I know that exists within me. It exists within the journey. It exists within every step that's there. And just seeing this beauty, I just one with deep gratitude for being able to hold prayer this evening. Being one that is able just to see this light, see the seeds that have been planted today and beyond. For I'm in one with deep thanks for being able to see this overall spiritual picture, this enlightenment of mankind that happens day after day, this uplifting of energy, this uplifting of knowledge, this uplifting of peace and hope. And in that, I just know that those are the most beautiful seeds that have been planted. And they continue to grow and expand with the correct tools that have been put in place. And just knowing this, I just release this prayer into the law. I step back. I just know nothing else is needed for me to do. I just see this beauty that exists in front of me, and I just step away. Let this permeate and grow and turn into this beautiful manifestation. I just simply let it be. I release these words into this universal law of just divine perfection, of love and light, of divine power. I just step back. Let it be. And I say to close this prayer, and so it is. All right. I wanted to thank you all for holding prayer this evening. Just a couple quick reminders. We do have our weekends programming coming up, and I really kind of wanted to talk real quick. We have so many things that we have coming up here, new programming. I invite you just make yourself aware of just so many other things that we have on here. So I'm just going to show my screen real quick here. We just have morning prayers that are coming up, and then we have the Science of Mind lecture series. I'm actually going to be doing the prayer this morning, so you're going to get a double dose of Joe this weekend here. I was filling in for somebody this evening, so you're going to see me in the morning as well. So until we see each other again, I just want to wish you just a beautiful rest of your night. If you have anything that you do need to be held in prayer, just a reminder, we do have a team of practitioners and ministers that we do hold prayer, and we take it very, very seriously. It is our job, and we're happy to hold that truth if we need to do that. Um, but if you also want to support the network, feel free to go to ntmedia.org, and there is a donate button there. But I want to let you all go for this evening. Just wishing you all the best, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace and blessings. Much love, my friends. And we're going to go with the "and so it is" again to end it. Here we go.